Coming up on NTC News, students speak out today following the Black Student Union's panel about racism. Also, we speak to the writer of this article who got to sit down with President Baker to talk about his legal fees. And 2 robberies occurred just hours apart near campus. NTC News starts now.
You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
Hello, I'm Emmett Kane. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Eric Martin. It's Thursday, May 4th.
Following the TKA racial slur video, the Black Student Union teamed up with the fraternity to hold an open discussion panel about racism. Yesterday's panel was made up of 3 members of the TKA organization and 3 members of BSU. After the presentations were over, the panel took questions from the audience, which is when the discussion took a turn. A student called the event a waste of time, which started a strong argument between him and the panel. More than 200 people showed up for the event.
We sent a reporter to ask students whether they think forums like this are effective or not. Here's what some of you had to say.
I do think we should continue them. However, I don't know exactly how much effect it is having because it's just a bunch of talk and not really a lot of action.
I didn't know the event was really happening, so I didn't know if it was really important for me.
I think they're very helpful because you're getting different perspective from people and you're giving them a chance to express themselves. Yeah, so I think they're really helpful.
I feel like it's good that both sides are recognizing what's going on and taking action to kind of ease tensions and go for a better NIU.
They have these panels all the time and nothing really happens. The same thing continually happens.
Black Student Union leader Kendra Wilkinson was one of last night's panel directors. Kendra joins us now at the set. So Kendra, how are you today?
Good, thank you.
So what has TEAC and BSU done to make sure that a Snapchat like this or videos of racism doesn't happen again?
Well, we have been meeting since the video dropped. We also have had meetings up until this point to talk about how we can better make the climate of this campus a lot different and also promote platforms where we can have compassionate but critical thinking.
And as you being the director of the panel, what are some advantages of running an open discussion panel?
I think it gave a lot of freedom to the student body to come and voice their concerns, vent and give their frustrations about what's going on around campus, but also it gave us an opportunity to get some suggestions on how we can put our feet on the ground and do the work.
Was this panel as productive and as effective as you thought it was going to be?
I would say that the event was a success. I think that we did and all that we set out to accomplish. I think that it was very successful and I hope that we can do it again.
And how has TEAC responded and what actions have they made since the video has?
They've been very open about it since the beginning. They actually came looking for Black leadership when the video aired, so I was very pleased about that. And again, just having open and clear discussions. They also released a statement and they have been going through a training on campus. So I think that they've done the best that they can given the situation.
All right, well, thanks for joining us today, Kendra.
Thank you.
NIU spends nearly $190,000 to defend President Doug Baker. Northern Star reporter Ian Tancoon tells us that the Office of Executive Inspector General is the result of the investigation. The OEIG is a state agency that is investigating allegations of misconduct against the president and received a complaint about Baker's administration. Tancoon has been covering the story for the past week and says he was not defensive about any questions. He explained to us what the president can say.
They can't comment on investigations, and it is a legal matter here, so I think he's bound by what he's able to discuss. So I would say that I think he was as forthcoming as he could be.
Tancoon explains how he feels about all the time he put in the investigation. I also asked him what this means for the university going forward.
Daunting. It's been a lot of work. There were literally hundreds of FOIA documents, legal records, correspondence that I had to sift through. So it's been the most challenging and time-consuming thing I've ever worked on, I would say. There is concern on campus, students and faculty that I've spoken to, specifically about the legal fees that are being incurred by this investigation. as most students can attest to, NIU is in the midst of a financial hardship here. There are cost-cutting initiatives all over the place. So the fact that that's going on, these cost-cutting initiatives, the need to, save as much money as possible wherever possible, that's happening while at the same time NIU is paying, tens of thousands of dollars in these legal fees. That is a concern that many people have on campus.
Police are warning students to be careful after 2 armed robberies take place within hours of each other not far off campus. The first robbery happened after 9 p.m. on Tuesday. Police say a man approached the victim's car window while he was sitting in a parking lot on Varsity. The suspect demanded cash and then ran off towards Annie Glidden. Police say the second robbery took place between 12 and 1 a.m. on Wednesday near Russell Road. The suspect took out his weapon and demanded some of the victim's personal property. No injuries were reported in either robbery. The Sycamore Police Department is giving the public a chance to get a closer look at how they solve crimes. The department hopes that by offering this class, residents will learn the difference between TV police work and actual police work. A free class will be held tonight about evidence handling. The NIU Police Department is asking all students to download their new safety app for smartphones called Contact Bridge. The app is free and works for all iPhones and Androids. It sends safety bulletins when there are potentially dangerous situations on campus. Now for a quick look at the weather with Lindsay Park. How's the weather outside of the lagoon?
It is a wonderful day here on campus. The sun is shining, tulips are growing in the background. It can't get any better than this. And this is a great location for graduating students to take memorable photos at, especially since this weekend we're going to have temperatures in the mid-50s and sunny skies. Also going into next week, temperatures will possibly be in the 70s, which will be great for finals week. So to hear more about that, stay with us and back to you guys.
Up next on NTC News, dorm checkout is coming next week. We'll tell you what you need to know. And the Husky Food Pantry is teaming up with a local organization to help fight hunger. We'll tell you all about it.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans. These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. So is the solution.
Give a gift of meals to a family in need. Visit feedingamerica.org/giveameal today.
A bill to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act passed in the House of Representatives in today's vote. The bill will now move to the Senate for review. Lark Lewis has more on the story in this week's Political Pit Stop.
A bill to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act is working its way back into Congress. This bill is the same bill that was introduced and later pulled from a vote in March.
On health care, the Vice President's been up here a lot. Do you think your colleagues in the House and you ultimately in the Senate get it done?
Well, I sure hope so. They're continuing to work on it. We don't want to give up on this. It's no secret that this has been a big issue in the last 4 campaigns, and we're going to continue to work on it. And when they send it over here, it'll be a real big challenge on the Senate side as well.
The fight over pre-existing conditions is what divides most members. The bill includes coverage for people with pre-existing conditions, but gives insurers the option to charge people with pre-existing conditions more than those without. As recently as Wednesday, 2 more Republicans said they would vote yes on the bill. But currently, at least 20 Republicans are against the bill, which needs 216 votes to pass. FBI Director James Comey testified Wednesday in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Comey's appearance in front of the committee is a routine procedure, but his testimony is what caught most people's attention. Both Republican and Democratic members of Congress wanted Comey to explain how he handled the investigations regarding Hillary Clinton's emails and Russia's involvement in the 2016 election.
Thank you for having this annual oversight hearing about the FBI. I know that sounds a little bit like someone saying they're looking forward to going to the dentist, but I really do mean it. I think oversight of the FBI of all parts of government, but especially the one I'm lucky enough to lead, is essential.
Comey stood by his decision to tell Congress about Clinton's email investigation just days before the 2016 election. Comey also confirmed once again there is an active counterintelligence investigation into Russia's ties to President Trump's 2016 campaign. President Trump extended an invitation to a controversial world leader over the weekend. During a scheduled phone call with Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, Trump invited Duterte to come to the White House.
It is an opportunity for us to work with countries in that region that can help play a role in diplomatically and economically isolating North Korea. and frankly, the national interest of the United States, the safety of our people and the safety of people in the region are the #1 priorities of the president.
Duterte has enforced the killings of his citizens suspected of being involved with drugs. Within his first 6 months in office, Duterte killed close to 6,000 people. The president's invitation came as a surprise to some of his top advisors, but the administration says the purpose of the meeting would be to work together against North Korea. Duterte has not yet confirmed if he will visit the White House or not. And another world leader met with President Trump this week. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas held a joint press conference with President Trump at the White House Wednesday morning. The two discussed the idea of initiating peace talks with Israel. Previous presidents have attempted to help reconcile Israel and Palestine with no success. It's been a pleasure hosting Political Pit Stop this year. Thank you for all who watched throughout the semester. I won't be here in the fall, but I hope you all continue to tune in to the NTC broadcasts. That's all for me, Lark Lewis. Back to the desk.
Students who are getting ready to pack up their dorm rooms need to be aware of certain policies and procedures. NTC reporter Mike Mitchell has more on the story.
The end of the semester is quickly approaching, and with the end of the semester comes dorm checkout. Beginning next week, students can make appointments to check out of their dorm rooms. Students will clean out their rooms, defrost and unplug their fridges, then finally have their community advisor inspect their room for any damage to the room.
I have not started packing yet, which I probably should. I'm not worried about getting any fines because I've taken care of our room pretty well.
Jaworski had mixed emotions about her time in the dorms coming to an end.
I'm going to miss probably the community that New Hall brings to us, like the whole communal living thing. I think that's really nice, but I think it's also kind of time for me to move on since I'm a junior and find an apartment and start being more independent.
Community advisors talk about how the checkout process works.
When the CA walks in your room and you come and get them and say, hey, it's time for my checkout, CA is going to be like, all right, cool. They're going to walk in your room. Essentially what they're looking for is it has to look exactly the way it did when you walked in the first day of fall semester.
James talked about how students can get fined.
You do the RCF form, so your CA is going to mark all the little dings and dongs on your walls and stuff like that. And essentially, if it matches up to the one that you did in the fall, then you don't get any fines. But if there's something that wasn't there, that you didn't mark in the fall, then you might get fined for it.
One community advisor has advice for students moving out.
As a resident, I would say advice is you should start moving stuff home towards the end of the semester so you don't have too much to take out on the last day. You should try to start moving out as soon as possible on the day you are going to move out so you can reserve a cart to yourself because they are very scarce.
When students finish checkout, they will turn in their keys to the front desk and be on to summer vacation. For NTC News, I'm Mike Mitchell.
The final day to check out of the residence halls is next Saturday, May 13th.
The NIU Google app and Gmail accounts will permanently be deleted on May 26th. The Department of Information and Technology made the announcement in December last year and again in January of this year. NIU moved students to Microsoft Office 365 in August last year. Graduating students who would like to keep an NIU email account should consider joining the NIU Alumni Association. And also with Google, beware if you received an email about editing a Google document. You might want to think twice about opening it. A phishing scam allowed hackers to get personal information from a user's Google account if they opened a document attached to the email. Scam emails usually have random letters in the email subject and will not have the typical marking of an email sent from Google.
The price for official NIU transcripts are increasing from the rates that were sent in 1986. Paper copies placed by fax, mail, or in person at customer service have increased from $5 to $8 per copy. Electronic requests for a mailed copy are also $8, but there is also a $2.25 online processing fee. Electronic requests for a PDF copy are $8 plus a $4 online processing fee, and graduation certificates are $5 each. This will go into effect on June 1st.
NIU now has its own emojis. Download the emoji app from the App Store and send Huskies to all your friends on campus. The app includes multiple Huskies, our Victor E mascot, Outgad Hall, and even a goose and a squirrel to represent campus wildlife. The NIU emoji is free for everyone and can be connected to your keyboard for easy access.
The weather hasn't been very nice this week. Will we see a warm-up soon, Lindsay?
You know, going into Friday, we'll see a high around 60 degrees, but then Friday night, a cold front will be coming in, which will give us colder temperatures going into the weekend. possibly in the 50s. And then going into next week, we will see temperatures in the 70s. So for finals, I mean, it'll be pretty exciting with temperatures in the 70s. But for today, we will have a high around 54 degrees, low around 40, which is below normal for this time of the year. And taking a look at what's going on campus, we have partly cloudy skies, winds coming in from the northeast at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. So if you guys are walking to class today, definitely bring a jacket. Let's take a look at what's going on our larger map. There is a high pressure system to the west of us, which they will be getting in some really nice sunny skies and warmer temperatures. And to the south of us, there is a low pressure system. They will be getting rain and thunderstorms, colder conditions as well. And for us, we don't really have much going on. We have gusts of winds up to 30 miles an hour, which will go into tomorrow. As you can see, a cold front we have passing us tomorrow night, giving us colder temperatures, which will go into Saturday. And then nothing much going on Saturday. There is a high pressure system to the west of us again, but then we won't see those nice warm temperatures until next week for finals week. All right, going into tonight, we do have a low around 40 degrees, partly cloudy skies. We will have chilly conditions, wind gusts up to 25 miles an hour, so it will make the temperatures seem a lot colder than 40 degrees. So going into tomorrow, we will have a high around 60 degrees, mostly sunny skies. It will be breezy again with wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour and sustained winds at 15 to 20 miles an hour coming in from the north. So then going into tomorrow night, we will have a low around 42 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Showers are likely. We will have a 20% chance of rain for tomorrow night. And then again, those winds will start to die down, going from 5 to 10 miles an hour coming in from the north. But then as we take a look at our 7-day forecast, going into the weekend, temperatures will be starting off in the 60s. Then as that cold front passes us going into Saturday, we will go back down into the 50s, but then going through the end of the week, or the rest of the weekend, going into early next week, we will see temperatures possibly in the 70s. Tuesday, a high of 71 degrees, possible chance of thunderstorms. But man, those 70 degrees temperatures, I can't wait for. So that is all for the weather. I'm Lindsay Park, and let's take it back to the desk.
Finals week is almost here, and students are blowing off steam by smashing cars over at the MLK Commons.
Reporter Austin Hansen joins us now to tell us more.
Thanks, guys. The smash happened in the MLK Commons. It was a fundraiser for the Latino Opportunity Program. The smash is happening from 12 to 5, and then afterwards, 5 to 8, there will be games. The point of the smash is to help blow off steam for finals and to raise money for the Latino Opportunity Program. Back to you guys.
Students are welcome to attend the 20th anniversary of Sycamore's Cinco de Mayo celebration, which raises money for local nonprofit groups. Jesus Romero is the owner of the Taxco restaurant and is in charge of the celebration. The two-day event is full of activities for people of all ages, including a street dance and a salsa making competition.
In Sycamore, the idea to have celebrations of Cinco de Mayo is to share our culture and at the same time have a celebration that will benefit local not-for-profit organizations.
The celebration is this weekend in downtown Sycamore.
The National Association of Letter Carriers is partnering with the Husky Food Pantry for the 25th annual Stamp Out the Hunger food drive on Saturday, May 13th. The food drive is the largest one-day food drive across the nation. Post office employees collect bags of non-perishable food left at mailboxes and the post office. The National Association of Letter Carriers delivers the Sycamore donations to Sycamore food pantries, and DeKalb donations usually go to the Salvation Army. But this year, mail trucks serving a section of northwestern DeKalb, including campus housing, will bring bags of food directly to the Husky Food Pantry. This will allow the food pantry to provide more food to students who experience food insecurity.
Coming up next, athletes were recognized for their efforts and skills Tuesday night.
And tugs is not just normal tug of war. We'll let you know who took top prize. We'll be right back.
How's it going, ladies? What are you guys talking about?
Nothing. We run this place.
Student athletes received honors this weekend at the 8th Annual Victors Awards. I went out to the event and talked to some of the winning athletes.
The Egyptian Theater was packed as athletes entered for an ESPY-like award show. Athletes got to walk the red carpet and take pictures with their teammates and friends an hour before the ceremony. Over 20 awards recognized students and coaches that succeeded in the 2016-2017 season. Wrestling had a historic season, winning Men's Team of the Year and Coach of the Year.
Hey, thanks to all the hardworking guys on this squad to make that possible. I accept this only on behalf of those guys and my tremendous coaching staff, Dominic Boyer and Ty Prasma, who are the hardest working guys on campus. Thank you guys. Keep riding, Huskies.
Senior Trace Engelkiss also won big for wrestling for his pin against Princeton in the NCAA tournament. He won Play of the Year and described how it wrapped up his career.
That was really a move that kind of epitomizes my whole career, just wrestling hard in the third period and looking for those finishing moves. So it's nice that I had this to go out on because it'll be a really good momentum for me because I'm always going to remember that match, and this will be like a little physical representation of that.
Women's volleyball won awards for Female Team of the Year and Coach of the Year. They won the MAC championship last fall for the first time since 2001. Mary Grace Kelly won MAC Medal of Excellence and Unsung Hero. She describes her experience of the competition at NIU.
A huge honor in all the categories that our team was able to win. There were just so many other competitive women's teams, and overall I think that it just speaks to how competitive NIU is as a program. So we were really happy to bring home those awards though.
Male Athlete of the Year went to senior football player Kenny Galladay. Galladay was recently drafted by the Detroit Lions in the third round with the 96th overall pick. Allie Lehman won Female Athlete of the Year and Miss Victory, who is awarded to the athlete who represents a sincere commitment to develop as a champion in the classroom, in competition, and in life. Mr. Victory was awarded to Corey Thomas and summed up what it's like to be a Husky.
It's nothing to be a Husky, man. We play with a chip on our shoulder. We don't have the best things all the time, and everybody gets the accolades, but nobody plays like us. Nobody works as hard as us. So thank you guys for this win.
The end of the Victors Awards will sum up the end of the Husky athletics season.
The full list and recap of the winners can be found online or in a copy of today's Northern Star.
Two Brothers Roundhouse in Aurora welcomed the NIU golf team and the NIU physics department for a free presentation that helped golfers better understand the game. Sam Schweiss explains.
The third law tells us that the ball has to exert just as big a force back at the club.
Math, science, and physics play hand in hand in the game of golf. Last night's presentation by the STEM Cafe showed how velocity is used to help the players in their golf game. The purpose is to bring the science of golf and bridge it to what the coaches do to teach our student athletes while applying science to the game of golf.
So knowing why the ball is curving 10 yards or 15 yards or 20 yards, knowing why that happens and how to fix it if the goal is to hit the ball straighter, but also just knowing how far the ball flies consistently. So with the TrackMan device, you can get down to the yard, how far the ball flies with all of their clubs. So there's no more guessing.
The TrackMan's device helps the players learn in the heat of the moment while they play the game. Science shows that the players need as much energy as possible into swinging into the head of the golf ball.
I think the biggest surprise to me was just how important aerodynamics is. That the golf ball is really flying more than just moving. That was kind of cool.
NIU will be hosting the NCAA for the golf tournament on May 19th. For NTC News, I'm Sam Schweiss.
This will be the first of any NIU sports to host the NCAA tournament in Sugar Grove. Women's softball is still killing it on the field.
And the Cubs won their game against the Phillies. Let's hit the ball over to Mike Mitchell with sports.
Welcome to NTC Sports. From a beanball fest in Boston to a woman being shot during a Cardinals game. This has been a wacky week in sports. Let's start with Husky baseball. Unfortunately, NIU's baseball season has been one to forget about so far. Tuesday, the Huskies traveled to Valpo to take on the Crusaders. The Huskies are 14 games under 500. They had 4 errors as the Huskies fell 8-2. Over to softball we go, where the Lady Huskies are doing on the diamond what the men's seem not to be able to do, win. Tuesday night, the Lady Huskies played a close game all the way to the end. In the 7th, Katie Grable ripped an RBI double, scoring the game-winning run as the Lady Huskies defeated the Wisconsin Badgers 6-4. A new Tugs champion of Greek row has been crowned. Phi Kappa Theta defeated Sigma Alpha Epsilon in 3 ropes on Saturday to take home the men's Tugs trophy. After losing the first rope by advantage, Phi Kappa Theta took the second rope advantage and then came back to take the third rope completely. To get to the final match, Thigh Caps also had to defeat the reigning champion Thigh Sigma Kappa. They will receive the first seed and a bye for next year's Tug. Before this year, Thigh Caps had not made it to the championship since 2010. To Wrigley we go, the Cubs looking to go up 2 games on the Phillies this series. We pick it up in the bottom of the 6th. Wolf Contreras rips a double down the line off of Joely Rodriguez. All of a sudden, a 1-run lead. Next batter, Matt Caesar comes up. He hits a dinker, nothing to do. All of a sudden, Wilson Contreras is in space. He's going to go through. Luckily, he's able to score as Freddie Gallis has an errant throw. To the 8th we go, Jason Hayward. He did exactly what Ben Zobrist did throughout the game. Another error, Cubs go down 1. But in the 9th, Wade Davis did what Wade Davis does best. Becomes 7 for 7 with saves. Cubs win 5-4. To Kansas City we go, and there was not much in the way of luck for the Southsiders. Lorenzo Cain rips a double here. Sox pitcher Mike Helfrey got rocked as the Sox fall 6-1. And finally, we go to last night's Capitals-Penguins game. Capitals' Dmitry Orlov puts one in his own nets. The Caps end up losing 3-2. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Orlov's coach was not very happy after that disaster of a play. Well, I wish I get paid millions of dollars to score in my own net. That's all for sports. I'm Mike Mitchell. Have a great day, have a great summer, have a great year, and as always, go Huskies!
While students juggled finals, one girl juggles knives. Victoria Lunasek tells us more.
Alexis Wallach has been juggling for over 16 years. She started juggling when she was 9 years old at a circus camp, where their kids could pick from multiple skills like clowning, tightrope, stilts, and more. Wallach fell in love with juggling.
I chose juggling because I really liked just the motion of the juggling, and it was relaxing to me. I was good at it, so I was able to get the coordination and the motion down.
Since then, Wallach has attended multiple conventions and was even asked to come back and teach at the camp she originally went to.
I really wanted to come back and share a little bit of my talent again with them. So I'm going to be working for about a month, and I'm really excited to be able to teach juggling and unicycling.
One of her many accomplishments as a juggler is performing for the Zope Family Circus. Wallach performed for a week with 3 other jugglers as a team act. But to her, juggling isn't just a talent.
It's an art. It's the way that you perform. It's the way that you want to do it. You really make it your own. You can put it to music. And so I think I've enjoyed kind of figuring out that science and that art and mixing it and making it my own. And I think anyone can learn it, and it's just fun, and it's really relaxing for me.
With NTC News, I'm Victoria Ludasek.
Wallach will be performing in next year's Night at the Apollo in spring 2018.
This is our last broadcast of the semester. Thanks for watching NTC News. We are produced and directed by students here at Northern Illinois University. For more on NTC News, look us up and like us on Facebook. And you can also check out our website.
And in collaboration with WNIJ, we're going to leave you now with the band Tentacles. Everywhere Singing Here's Looking at You. It will air Thursday night at 7 on 89.5 FM and WNIJ.org.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget, may the 4th be with you as ace your finals and enjoy the summer.
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Looking at me, looking at you, I didn't want you to. There's nothing I can do. Looking is free, so let's agree to disagree. Where you sit on the ground, There's garbage all around, you're dirtier than this old town, and you wear it well in your sordid frown. I notice